Good evening, folks. This is Darth Rabbit07 coming to you tonight with another quick review from a post Black Friday find. Got the whole Series 7, but the one I want to take a closer look at is actually the Phantom 2. I feel that the Micro Galaxy Squadron Ghost should have had both Phantoms and the Phoenix Squadron in a big package, and I would have bought that too all at once, but they like to stagger things out and drive me crazy. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching. Let's turn this around, take a closer look at the Phantom 2. Without further ado, here's the Phantom 2 on the turntable, looking awesome, and that new box art. I like the way this looks with the blister. Got the Ghost sitting there to the side with the Phantom over in the back, and of course it doesn't look like they actually did the panel lining. Let me actually illuminate this. There we go. They didn't. So I've got to go back and do the panel line like I did with the Phantom over there and do that again. But you get blinded Kanan, Jarrus, and Chopper. Just that's all you need to have to fly the shuttle or the Ghost is Chopper. And Chopper is a character in himself. You got Darth Maul's shuttle. You got the other, I can't think of the name of it right now, but you got Shinatari's fighter, the Snowspeeder recolor with Dead Dak in the back, and the card and the stuff and things and how you can interact with the Ghost. And it does have its own set of lights and sounds as we get into the review. We'll go through the Phantoms just to recap it, and then we'll do the Phantom 2's sounds and what have you. But very, very, very nice all together. Let's crack this open and get into it. This is from Star Wars Rebels. This is where it originated. And also, this was in number 2. Hasbro is dragging with the HasLab. Micro Galaxy Squadron got this stuff out in good time. As per usual, you have Kanan and Chopper in the little plastic blister. If you flip over the back, you got like some other little, I don't know what. Oh, I guess it says it's recyclable there on the tag, and boom, you can open that up all the same like you do the other stuff there. Oh, like that. There you go. It separates a little easier. And we'll take a closer look at these figurines out of the package. Taking a closer look at our foul mouth little Chopper. He is awesome in his tiny form here. And not too sure what that is on the top there, but he's got the peg hole on the bottom, so you can actually put him in to his cargo port here on the side of the ship there, which we're going to go ahead and do now. He's got a couple of the configurations, but let's go ahead and get Chop in there. I'd like for his head to turn so he can look straight ahead, but he's in there. He's not coming out. And I think Kanan goes right here in the front of this cockpit here. We haven't even taken a closer look at Mr. Kanan yet. And it just slides up. It's that clear plastic, so be careful. There's the inner lookings of the cockpit and Chopper he's going to be, and we'll get Kanan in there in just a moment. Closer look at Kanan. Let you look at those details if I can get this thing to focus upright. And these things just get better and better with each wave or each series moving forwards since number 1. Let the pistol there on the side. It's got a slight bend in the arms. And we'll put him inside of the Ghost there. The Ghost inside of the Phantom 2. Lightsaber on this side. Blaster on the other. Very Cal Kestis of him. Let's get him in the ship. Getting him in there is no easy feat of itself, as my fingers are really big and these figures are super duper small, but we will close this on back. I'm going to slide it back just a little bit and then down tight. You can look in there and see Kanan in there as Chopper's flying them along, doing its thing. And there is the Phantom. Nice detail and paint throughout. Looks really, really amazing. He's got these really loosey-goosey landing gear, front landing gear, especially on mine. I could swear this is like Grievous's little ship he runs to Utapau with to get away from the Jedi. Anyway, or anytime in the Clone Wars, he runs this little ship here. And I want to go to cross-reference that and look at things and see the stuff and things. I don't think I can get this pinched open because, oh wait, maybe I can. It's just really freaking hard. Yeah, you can get that open. So it kind of, that reminds me a whole lot of Grievous's little ship he goes running into and scurrying away. But it's also where the Rebels family gets, I mean, Ezra, spoiler alert, crashes the Phantom, and boom, you can see all the way back up through the cockpit there in the middle of that. This top piece will come off and show you off the cargo bay as well. That said, this always gives me a little bit of a scare when you're trying to get stuff off of there to show off the inner workings of the Phantom 2. And the said inner workings can hold a figure. You have Kanan standing there. It'd be nice if they actually sit down and utilize the 6 seats that's inside of that. Chopper can also go on this peg right here in the back. I get to focus in, so he can go in that peg right there in the back. Very, very nicely painted, very, very nicely detailed. I always worry with these little C-clips in the clear plastics, but I mean, you see the back of Kanan's head there as he's sitting in the pilot seat, and Chopper with his ever so helpful, words of wisdom as you go throughout. But like I said, the back end does pretty good on this part, but then this front end, I mean, it's kind of dangly, gangly, kind of spider leggy looking. Mine just won't stay out there for whatever reason. So you can keep these actually folded up if you so desire. You do get the nubs that go and interact with the Phantom. And there's also these little itty bitty ports right here that you can get your fingernail in and open that up. And I think this is extra clips that you use to get him to actually interact and land on the Phantom. And it like clicks into place when you press that there. There was no instructions, and I've not watched any other video reviews to check it out, but there's all that stuff. Let me get these legs closed up, and the same thing goes there. Like, you can just keep these things in there. You got those nubs, and you got the functionality still. Boom, like that. Let me get that piece back on the top there, and we'll take a closer look at the Phantom one more time on the platform before you interact with the Ghost, and do that with the most. And real quick with the Ghost, I want to go through and do the sounds with the Ghost connecting and disconnecting. Here's a quick look of how the Phantom 1 interacts, pops on there. You do get a little bit of turn out of that turret there on the top. You get that back and forth there. I added the weathering to it. I'll have to do the same thing to the Phantom 2 over here on the side of the screen there. These things are always floppy woppy, and then like whenever you go and you engage the sound, whenever you go to disconnect, you get a disconnect sound. You get a soaring sound until I get it. There it is, redocking, and it sound. So let's get the Phantom 2 and dock it to the back of the Ghost there. Real quick, we'll do a Phantom 1 and Phantom 2 size comparison, and then fold it. Well, this thing folds up. This one does not. It's got a top fin. This one does not. Get your thrusters in the back comparison there on view. And then the side views as the Ghost powers down. Your front profiles. Your starboard profiles. And again with that aft view as we started there, boom. And then side by side. I actually like the way the Phantom 2 looks versus the Phantom 1. I wish the Phantom 1's wings would actually lock into place a little bit straighter. Hopefully on future revisions they'll tweak it, and or I don't know, we'll see. I may not do anything with it. Love having this finally, the shell been sold together like I was saying. And if you're going to do weathering like you do on the Ghost, you should also apply it to the smaller craft as well. To each his own, however you want to do it. Not at your own risk. That's what I'm going to do. So let's get the Phantom 2 actually attached to the back of the Ghost. So already I can see that these things have to be in an outward position and not like this in order to connect. So it's just like I said, you grab it by the sides there, and it actually gives the little lip there for the clamps in the back of the Ghost to be able to grab hold of the Phantom 2. And with the button, these are the buttons that it's a different configuration that will go and press and give you the Phantom 2 sounds as I go to latch this thing on board. And I made it go into hyperspace. But you can see how right off bat the weathering is not there. Get this stuff out of the way. So there it is, connected to the back of the Ghost, and what that looks like there. Like these little booty guns, as long as this wouldn't have been bent, I can try to fix that as I go along. And let me zoom back and give you a little bit more of a starboard profile of the Ghost. A forward view of the Ghost in the Phantom 2 just changes the whole profile of the Ghost. This is what it looked like in Ahsoka or Rebels live action season 5. There's the port side view. I kind of just wish these things wouldn't have to be flipped and turned to actually let the Y-wings from Phoenix Squadron attach onto them. I thought this would sit a little bit more there, but it does lock into place, and there you go. Got figures falling out of the front there in the cockpit. That's what you keep hearing rattling around. But there you go. And then if we push this, and then we're going to do the disconnect sounds, hopefully. There it goes. And we'll do a reconnect sound, hopefully, right here. We'll get this back down here. I am at a loss. Let's see if I can get this to do this one more time. I'm not entirely sure I'm doing it right. It's a whole different sound set there, as you can hear, guys. But that's about going to do it for the Phantom 2 and the Ghost. I'm sure the landing gear is all rocking out of the way. One more crazy good look at this and what you got there. Is it necessary? I think so. I like the way this looks. I'm going to have to do another little quick update showing it off with the weathering on this thing because they've omitted that again and the Ghost power is down. I'm kind of curious to see if the blaster fire does anything else with those buttons pressed. So let me do that real quick before we get into final thoughts. So then, that sounds throatier. It sounds more intense. Let's see what the warp drive sounds like. Same. I think that's a throatier blaster effect. That's so crazy. Yeah, I think that even changes that sound effect. Let's go ahead and pull this back off and then we'll see for sure. Here we go. So there's that going down here and landing somewhere off screen. And we'll do the sound effects again. That's weird. It's like doing a different sound. Guess the buttons might have got stuck down in there, but time and play, I'll figure it out and then update as we get through there. It's not doing it. Huh. That's pretty well. Unless there's a reset that I don't know about right there in the landing bay. It definitely did change the sound effects to this. Let me go back over here and land the... Let's see what happens right here. That did. It's different sound effects. Okay, we learned something new today. So depending on whether you have it plugged in there, it will retain its sound effects from between the Phantom and the Phantom 2, guys. I'm just going to land this one more time here with that out. That sounds really, really crazy good. And then that front button doesn't change much. And you can do a single shot or you can do rapid repeat fire. But that sounds more like Millennium Falcon's fire effects. That's so cool, guys. You take the Phantom 2 off, and then you get nothing. Weird. So the only way to reset the sound is by putting the Phantom 1 back onto the thing to give it to its original default. But I like the way this looks much better. It's going to be hard to go back to the Phantom. So with that said, let's get into some final thoughts, guys. Some final thoughts on the Phantom 2. I just really do love that profile of the Ghost there. Kind of feel like stuff's still a little bit out of proportion in what you see in the show versus this. It is a bummer that this has got like a bent firing nub there. But I mean, it's detailed throughout. You even got cannons underneath the back of the ship there to, fight off, people coming at you from the backside there. And you get that whole other set of different sound effects. And that is really, really awesome. Just depending on how those nubs are. That's the Phantom 1's sound effect nubs. And then Phantom 2 has its own set. Really, really solid, awesome pickup for the Ghost. That therein is the negative. I wish that you could have got this from the get-go. I saw the place tag for this when I was in Washington when we was coming back from the Alaskan cruise there on the last day of vacation. I was trying to pick this up and take it on the plane with me back home, but I found this when I got back home. And then good buddy Ultra Megatronus sent me the Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator from Phantom Menace, and it's been a lot of fun, man. Highly recommend this all the same, even without the weathering on it. But I mean, it's a complete the whole look. And then now, I mean, we know that Ezra crashed this, but I wish I had a way to store up underneath there, like in the belly of the beast. But then you would have took up some room there. But this is a far cry better than what I've seen at $60 than that HasLab, and I probably shouldn't compare that just yet until I get the actual HasLab Ghost in my hands. But this has been very, very impressive with all its bells and features and motion sensor, lights, sounds, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed with this. I don't even think that HasLab Ghost has any sound effects. So to each his own. You have an affordable version that doesn't take up a lot of real estate, and I'm sure that the other Ghost is going to take up a zip code when it gets in here, but we'll find it a happy home in my cave. The cave is hopefully going to get a big update here in the near future, and we'll hopefully have things in place, and I can be able to show that off better in the near future. Thanks again for watching my channel and hanging in there, guys. I'm sorry for the lack of updates lately, but life gets in the way. The holidays. I'm not really chipper during the holidays, but it really does a big perk finding this and the rest of the, except for that other, I think it's the rare that was in the Series 7 Starfighter class, because this would strike me as light armor, but they sold it in a Starfighter and charged it more. Pretty sneaky there, Jazz Bears, but oh well, all the same, I highly recommend. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks for tuning in again, and y'all have an excellent week out there. May the force be with you all, always.